So what do Hezbollah's recent drone missions mean? Joining me now to discuss this and more, Senior Research Fellow with the Jerusalem Institute for Strategy and Security and former Israeli National Security Advisor, Major General in the Reserves, Yaakov Amidror. Major General, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. Now, what do you think that the drone was able to actually capture in the time that it was over Israeli airspace? And what can Hezbollah do with the information from that drone? How big of a risk is this?
I think that what they tried to do, if it was not armed with explosive or something like that, is to take as many pictures of the terrain to learn Israel in depth, and it is part of the collection of intelligence. I think that more than the success of collecting information, it is about the success of Hezbollah to send something in and to take it back without being destroyed by the Israeli Air Force. That was the main success in this event.
Well, why do you think that Israel was incapable of capturing this UAV? What makes this drone different to the one on Thursday?
I don't know. They have to look into the details that I'm not familiar with, and to find what made the difference in this case. I'm sure that we will have many lessons from this operation of Hezbollah and all the steps which are needed to build to be better in the future.
All right, now, as was mentioned earlier, Hezbollah actually first bragged about how great their drones were, then they even offered the drones to anyone who's on the market for sale, and then they launched these two recon missions into Israel. Do you think that this was maybe a proof of concept for potential buyers?
It's a test for Hezbollah, which is not producing it. They are getting it, most of them, from Iran. And for them, it's a very important test to show that they can, and how they will use it in the future is a very interesting question. And we have to take into our account that it will be used in the future in any conflict with Hezbollah, and we should be better prepared to put it down.
All right, now I want to move on to another topic, the JCPOA. Western negotiators are in Vienna insinuating that all of the elements for a conclusion to the negotiations are on the table, and that all Iran has to do is quit its uranium enrichment, reopen its doors to IAEA inspectors, and comply with whatever's on the table. Meanwhile, Israel is still insisting that the deal is bad and doesn't extend the expiration date or address Iran's financial backing of terror groups across the region. What do you know about the tenets of this new agreement and whether it will do remotely enough to curb Iran's behaviors?
The agreement was on the table since the beginning of these negotiations because the Americans forgot all the promises to have a longer, stronger, and broader agreement. It's the same agreement of 2015. Very good agreement for the Iranians, very bad agreement for the world. And the decision was in the hands of the Iranians since the beginning of the negotiations because the Americans didn't have any demand from the Iranians. And my assessment was from the beginning that the Iranians will sign at the end because it's very good agreement for them, and they should be very stupid not to take such a good agreement. The full capitulation of the American in this agreement is very clear, and they will have to answer the world and Israel what are the plans after the agreement will be revived. And it's a very short agreement because the beginning of the end of what we call sunset is very close. It's 2015, I think, right. The beginning of the and the Americans will have to answer the question where it is longer, where it is stronger, where it is broader, and it is none of them.
Now, again, speaking of the JCPOA, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that Israel's security is non-negotiable, but Israel in no way feels secure by this deal. So, is he just offering political pandering to the Israeli delegation that went to Vienna? Is this just lip service? Or is there some bite to this deal that we've not yet discussed that would protect Israel in any eventuality?
Nothing in this agreement will protect Israel. It is, at the end, will give legitimacy to the Iranians that they don't have today. There are so many loopholes in the agreement. They can continue to manufacture the next generation of centrifuges. They can continue to build their long-range missiles. The weaponization is only words in the agreement. No one is taking care for the weaponization in Iran. All the stories and information about the past efforts of the Iranians to produce the weapon systems, as was revealed in the archive which had been brought to Israel by the Mossad. The Iranians didn't answer any question raising from this information. So if it wouldn't be so dangerous for Israel, I would say that it's a joke.
All right. Major General Yaakov Amidror, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you very much.